Thank you.
Suhaila, are you ready?
Yes.
Right Club audience, are you ready?
Tar, Profane in 3, 2, 1.
Once upon a time, there was this being, all-knowing, all-powerful, and this being, I'd say his name, but it's not allowed, so we'll just deal with this being. It's like a superhero. Super being! Okay. So Super Being had a whole bunch of sidekicks, always ready for the call, always eager to help, like Mexicans standing outside a Home Depot. We'll call them angels, okay? So one of the Super Being's main Mexican angel sidekicks is this kid named Lucifer. Super Being pretty much confided everything in Lucifer. Every little plan, they hung out all the time. It was a sacred bond that they had, okay? So then one day, Super Being says to Lucifer, "Today, one of you will fall. You will go against me, you will not do as I command, and I will banish you from the bat cave forever." And Lucifer was like, "Why? Who? Why? Who?" And Super Being says, "I'm not gonna tell you, you'll find out later." So Lucifer's a little hurt by this, but he hides it. He trusts, he believes in Super Being. But word gets out. Angels hear that there's gonna be a really big reveal, and some of them come up to Lucifer and ask him if he knows what's going on. And Lucifer's like, "Dude, I totally know, but I gotta keep it under wraps." So the time comes. Super Being gathers all the angels in Metropolis to see what Super Being has. And Super Being reveals the new weapon, man, which is basically this clay figurine thing, and if you buy it now, you can get it with extras like dinosaurs, which don't eat it. Okay, and Super Being says, "I want you all to bow to my creation, man." And they all begin to bow, and because Super Being commanded it. And Lucifer is like, oh, dude, this is it. This is the time that Smurf and Jack Smurf isn't gonna do what Super Being says. And I totally wanna see who it is. Who is this penis wrinkle of a Smurf wad? So, he's watching the masses bow to this G.I. Joe Ken doll, and he's craning his neck and he's looking, right? They've all bowed, all of the Mexican angels are down, all of them except for him. And Lucifer realizes, or he feels, he was tricked. Super Being says, "I told you, Lucifer, one of you would disobey me today, and you are now banished." And Lucifer is embarrassed, he's enraged, he feels betrayed, he feels his sacred bond with Super Being profanely betrayed. And pride and hurt get the better of Lucifer, and he fights, and he rages, and he falls away. Now, all Lucifer really wanted was to know, that's it, to be included, to remain close to Super Being, keep shotgun in the Millennium Falcon. But instead, he becomes the epitome of profane. Does that seem profane to you, to want to remain sacred to someone else? Or does what Super Being did seem profane? So let's just get this out of the way right now. Whether or not God actually exists as the monotheistic organizations have held God, the opposite of God is not profane. There is no opposite of God because there cannot be. Not when it is declared that God, or the idea of God, the ultimate, the almighty, the most, the omniscient, the omni of the omnis, the all, the sacred and the profane. If you give God an opposite, the opposite would have to be also sacred and profane due to the fact that it holds the same weight, not just profane. Now, I wanted to start off this piece by hanging an effigy of the Prophet Muhammad on a burning cross while singing "Jesus Loves Me" in Hebrew. But I felt that would be a profane use of my 7 minutes and yours. It doesn't matter anyway, because whatever is profane today will be sacred tomorrow, and what is sacred today will be profane tomorrow. We do that. Human beings are consistent and inconsistently declaring sacred, profane, sacred, profane. Ow, you hurt my... Ow, you hurt my God with that cartoon. Oh, you put a cross in a cup of piss. That's against God, and it's not art. Shut the Smurf up, you Smurf hole. Is your God so Smurf and small that he needs you protecting him from a urine test? And by the way, you can't declare what art is. It's expression. There are no parameters. You don't like it? Fine. Then just say that, but don't declare it profane, because it is omni. It is like your God, but better. People that think like that have children, and that's profane. I digress. Where was I? Profane. Okay. There are those that think that sex is profane, and there are those that think that sex is sacred. And there are those that make sex sacred by making it really profane. And vice versa. Too many questions can be profane to the idea of sacred, and too many answers can do the same thing. The only universal profanity, really, the consistent one, is what we do to each other. If profanity of being were a sexually transmitted disease, which I'm not saying it isn't, living and loving, it's like entering an orgy and realizing halfway through we never had condoms on, only to discover that instead of warts on people's genitalia, it's just gross, contradictory, selfish, abhorrent behavior that works profane acts against our exposed hearts and beings. But that is human, and it is living, and we all want to be sacred. Thank God for our pets, huh? We say so many things are sacred to us: family, belief, art, life, love, but then we let it be profaned. What the Smurf is wrong with us? Smurf the rest of the stupid mother Smurfers. The fact is, if you hold something sacred, really sacred, it cannot be touched. It is protected by you, by your holding it. And if you allow it to be questioned, or answered, or hurt, or to lose to a challenge, you've created the profanity of it, not someone else, you. But that is our sacred profane cycle.